Now at 4, double heartbreak. We're hearing from a grandmother whose grandson and now son have both been targets of local violence.
And we're looking at temperatures that are approaching 30 degrees, but we've got another cold night ahead, and we've also got some snow showers moving through.
And we're hitting the ground running. Today, the Colts' new defensive coordinator laid out his personal strategy for the team. We've got that, plus more. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Another winter reminder for central Indiana. We've seen off and on snow showers all day long. This is a live look at interstate traffic near downtown. It's slowing traffic right now. Definitely something to keep in mind as we start the afternoon commute. We've also seen several interstates closed in some places across the state just because of this snow. Glad you're with us at 4 o'clock. Dustin Grove, Felicia Lawrence, and Rob Ellis.
Yeah, the snow was quick how fast it came down. I mean, some locations had quick bursts.
Yes, it was thick too.
It was, and that caused some slowdowns on some of the interstates, even a couple of accidents. The good news is we knew that those snow bursts were going to be quick to move in and also to move out. Now it's transitioned to more of just a light snow flurry or snow shower that's pretty much covering the entire area. So snow shower is going to stay with us. The good news here is that the rate is relatively light. And I'm saying relatively because many of the areas that have now gotten some treatment or have treatment on them, they're not having too many difficulties. I'll show you traffic here in just a second. In the meantime, let me zoom in a little bit closer. You can see that some areas are getting some heavier, quick down, some bursts of snow. I think overall we'll be dealing with this for the next couple of hours, but the trend is to get that out of here. And once it gets out of here, these 20s and even some 30s that we were able to warm up to today, which by the way is a little warmer than expected. I'll factor that into our forecast here in just a moment. That is going to eventually cool back down into the single digits once we get this system out of here. The question is, how much will we clear out behind this once it moves through? And again, most of the bursts of snow that we're seeing right now are nowhere near as heavy as what moved through, I'd say about 1 o'clock during the afternoon today. Caused some big problems. I think we'll keep that chance for some snow showers in our forecast, maybe for the next several hours. We'll keep the clouds in place. Temperatures will start to drop, but they'll really drop once the clouds move out. We can clear the skies, and then we'll drop the temperatures back down into the single digits. I've got 6 here for the overnight low. Given how warm we were today and how slow the clouds may be to move out, I'm wondering if we'll be able to make it down quite that cold. I'm going to leave it there because outside of the city, I certainly think there's going to be some locations that get a little bit colder than that, especially if we can relax the winds a good bit. And then tomorrow, not necessarily the temperatures are the big story. It's this. How about some sunshine for you? That will certainly be nice, even if it is a cold day. And by the way, one of the coldest days in our 7-day forecast. Let's talk traffic very quickly. Most of the big concerns that we had around the area earlier in the day today have since subsided. The traffic maps will show you that we do have a couple of trouble spots, the usual slowdowns that we're looking at. Those trouble spots are expected to continue. If we're able to go over to the traffic computer, we can pull that up and I'll be able to show you what we're looking at here, especially on the north side. By the way, this is what we're looking at on Interstate 69 in Marion County. There are the traffic maps for you. Very quickly, seeing the usual slowdowns here. We'll move to the north, 69. We'll take it all the way up to the north here, and it is shut down northbound. Now, the image that you just saw, which I'll pull up here on the traffic camera, it's not this one, it's the next one, it's that one. That is what you're looking at on the left side of your screen. That is northbound traffic, and that northbound traffic is being exited, and that's going to continue exiting. Then they can get back on the interstate a little farther to the north, but a good section of Interstate 69 through Marion County is shut down. Otherwise, most of the bigger accidents that have been around the area have been cleared, but of course, I'm going to keep an eye on it for you.
All right, yeah, we're going to check back in a few. Thank you, Rob. We're learning more about a developing story from Indy's northeast side. A man shot several times in his own home.
Police say that it happened around 2:30 this morning on Olney Street near 30th and North Sherman Drive. Our Chase Howe went to the neighborhood after speaking with the man's mom. And Chase, can you tell us, does she know who may have done this?
When I talked to her, she didn't have a clue. All she knows is a neighbor called her early this morning telling her son has been shot and he was on his way to the hospital. Blood splatter can be seen stained in the snow at a home on Olney Street Thursday morning.
Nobody cares. That's why all these guns are out here.
Rosie Jones is the mother of Ronnie Watkins. She says her son was shot in his face, chest, and his wrist inside his northeast side home.
He had to run out of his house and go to a neighbor and almost collapsed at a neighbor's house that called me and let me know at 2 o'clock in the morning that my son was shot.
In 2023, Jones says her 24-year-old grandson Tytrell Watkins died after being shot over a dozen times during a robbery. His killer still out running the streets.
Whatever they're angry about, they need to go to a gym or something and work it out. I mean, this is crazy. You're taking a real life. You're taking a real life. I mean, you're taking somebody away from a family that loves them. You're taking a real life. It's not a game.
As for who could have done this, she says only her son can tell anyone that. While at the scene, 13 News saw IMPD using drones and executing a search warrant for a nearby house looking for the suspect. Anyone with information about this shooting is asked to call police. Reporting here in Indianapolis, Chase Howell, 13 News.
Thank you, Chase. We're also staying on top of those wildfires in Southern California, where even more have sparked in the last couple of days. Certainly the last thing they need.
Yeah, but the good news is firefighters are expecting to get some help from rain in the days ahead. Laura Aguirre has more from out west.
Thousands of firefighters, battle-worn by weeks on the front lines, continue to fight for total containment of multiple fires today, with a weekend forecast that could bring rain relief and a possible new threat. Forecasters say more rain could fall across Southern California before Monday than it's had since last June. The needed rain brings with it the risk of mudslides and possible flooding, prompting CAL FIRE to fill pallets of sandbags for distribution to residents in the fire-scarred areas, where there's precious few trees, structures, and vegetation to handle the rain. A new wildfire erupted Wednesday, the Hughes, which ignited north of Santa Clarita Wednesday and so far has burned over 10,000 acres. At one point, over 50,000 people were under evacuation orders or warnings.
As long as there is active flame, we will constantly be reassessing on where the evacuation warnings and orders need to be.
With the Hughes fire, location helps.
We're fortunate because we can dip right out of Castaic Lake, so we've got a lot of water up there.
A water access and wind advantage over the firefights to the south.
It's nowhere near what we saw over in the Palisades and Eaton Fire with 80 to 100 mile an hour gusts.
Those two blazes, the most deadly and destructive of the fires this month, are both over 70% contained this hour, and recovering residents there are waiting to see what the weekend of rain ahead will bring. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
And now we got to get to some big news from the Colts complex. We are hearing from the new defensive coordinator today for the first time.
Lou Anarumo, we're going to have to get used to that name. Anarumo is known as the Mad Scientist. We like that. Most recently, he served as defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. The move was made public on Tuesday, and today, 2 days later, he talked about being here in Indianapolis and what it means to put his stamp on the Colts defense. Take a listen.
Well, I think one of the things that we'll hang our hat on it will be, we're always going to try to be a smart, fast, and physical team. Those three things. You don't want to beat yourself in this league. You want to make sure that guys know where their help is on every down, no unforced errors, things like that, where you can eliminate and win games by just allowing the other team to make their mistakes, and we're going to, stay steadfast.
Some background here. Cincinnati let him go at the end of the season. He helped the Bengals to the Super Bowl back in 2022. And the Colts, you remember, they fired defensive coordinator Gus Bradley after the team ranked 29th in total defense this last season.
Okay, when I'm here, sitting on this desk, I'm a Colts fan.
Yeah.
But I'm from Chicago, and I've had a tough year.
Yeah, that's tough to be a Bears and a Colts fan right now.
Yes, and my point being is that when you have somebody coming in with something new, fresh, and you're at the bottom, it doesn't matter. I want to hear it. Let's do it. Let's be excited. Let's get ready for next season.
The Mad Scientist. I can't wait for the potion he's working on.
Oh, I hope it's mad. All right, and the Pacers are in Paris.
This is part of the NBA's Paris Games 2025. Right now, as we speak, they're playing the San Antonio Spurs.
And this week's game marks the first time the league has ever played two regular season games in the French capital in the same season. And the game started at 2 p.m. our time. So here's where we're at. Here's the score. High scoring game.
Spurs up 125-101.
All right, so something that we will continue to keep an eye on, we'll continue to watch, and just also kind of see the impact of the NBA in Paris, in
yeah.
Europe, which Europe has a basketball following, but the NBA, that's another story.
Look forward to hearing an update from Paris as soon as we can. Encased in ice, the way officials in one city plan to return these carcycles, yeah, those are cars covered in ice, how they plan to return them to their normal state, if they can at all.
And birthright citizenship is a hot button issue right now. We've got the latest directive from the new president's desk.
And earlier I showed you the temperatures tomorrow into the 20s, a cold day, but there is a warm up that's on the way. This will be the coldest day of our 7-day forecast. Wait until you see the rest of the numbers coming up.